Hi there, my name's Alistair Kennedy and I'm the Sociable Social Worker, and I give practical advice to social workers, newly qualified social workers and those social workers in training. And today I'm going to look at top tips for direct observation in your ASYE or in your social work training. So let's get into it. Top tip number 1. Try and forget the observer is there. I know that's really hard. In my first observation as a social worker, I actually flunked, but the reason being is I got so flustered because I could hear them writing loads of case notes and I could see them writing stuff out in the corner of my eye. So try and position yourself away so you can't actually see them or not beside them. But recently I was on duty and I was interviewing a person who had anxiety and a personality disorder, and they said to me, "This isn't working out. This conversation, I feel more nervous than when we began." And actually I thought back on my training and the observations that I did, and it was clear to me that what I wasn't letting this person do, I wasn't letting the conversation flow, it wasn't coming very naturally, I was really busy, so I was asking very staccato questions, not very open questions. So the key to it is, don't push it. Just because your observer is there, you're better picking up on cues than pressing headlong into an interview. And actually, you know, with that man on the phone with me the other day, I actually said, look, this isn't working out for either of us, and maybe what we should do is pick it up afterwards. And he said, yeah, you know, that's a good idea, I think so. And then we spoke again later in the day and everything was clearer, more concise, and he actually went away quite settled. So that would be my top tip for you as well. Don't press headlong into it. Make sure you can't see your assessor, and just be relaxed, honest, and as open as you can be. Top tip number 2, plan ahead. Make sure you've set some time aside with your observer, your assessor, your practice teacher, whatever you want to call them, and make sure you're really clear on what you want to achieve for that session, and be clear with them. And that'll be easier for them to be able to write down what they've seen, what they've heard, and also what model of assessment you're using. In a previous video, when I've talked about case notes, I've looked at the DAP model and also the SOAP model, and I would leave the links below for you to have a look at that. The observer is going to be looking for something that is valid, i.e. does it say what it does on the tin? Does it work for the social worker and work for the client? Is it reliable? Can it be trusted over time and agreed by others? Is it authentic? Are you being authentic? Can it be very well evidenced? Is it sufficient? Is the framework that you're using sufficient enough to reach a certain standard and be assessed to a decent standard? And is it current? Is it based on current practice? Is it current questioning? Is it relevant to the service that you're working in? And those are the key things. So is it valid? Is it reliable? Is it authentic? Is it sufficient? And is it current? Top tip number 3, remember your communication skills training. Try and ask open questions. Try not shut the conversation down. I know that's easy to say, but when you're nervous it can be. Start with background information. That's always the easiest thing. Allow the person just to talk about something that's comfortable. It could be about the cup of tea you're drinking. It could be pets that they've had. It could be about their family. And let them offload their experiences. It might even be about past social work practice. Then outline again why you're there and what you want to achieve. They've probably forgotten about it when you first introduce yourself at the doorstep. So, and watch your body language as well. You know, don't close your body down, don't twiddle your hair, don't pick your eyebrows, don't pick your nose. And certainly, as I saw someone recently, is make sure your phone is switched off and don't decide that you're going to take a phone call or answer a text, as I saw someone recently do in an observation. So put the phone away. Top tip number 4, don't write copious notes. Case notes need to be succinct, need to be confidential, and actually it's best if you just write some key words that only you understand, or key points. And don't read stuff off a paper, that just blocks communication. Make sure your questions are open so that they're easily flowing, and interactions will get easier over time. And the first time you meet someone, it's going to be a bit staccato and it's going to be really difficult. And obviously you're being observed as well, so you'll be nervous. But write enough that you can understand after a 60-minute observation. And don't think, I need to achieve this, I need to achieve that, I need to achieve this. You can always come back, and you can always ask the observer to come back and do a second visit. There's no harm in that. You will never meet all your learning objectives from one observation. So there you have it. All the best for your observation. I hope it goes well. If you like, give the video a wee like, thanks, and I'll speak to you all soon.